I want to ask a question about Chelsea, Dan. So Palmer, along with, and I want to go and get the other names. Palmer is one of them. Has been dropped from the Conference League squad, and we know that Chelsea have a big season ahead that also includes the World Club Championship at the end of the season, and theoretically they could get up to like 70 odd games. But I'm just looking for the other names that are on that list. But do you think, having watched that game against Servette, do you think this is a little bit of a risk? So it's Palmer, Wesley Fofana, and Lavia have all been left out of the group. Out of the Conference League group stage by Chelsea. Do you think that's a risk that's worth taking, or do you feel as though Chelsea should be trying to win that, get back to winning silverware, and have their best players available?
Yeah, I think it is a big risk because you look when they against Servette, they didn't play no youth players. You know what I mean? Like Palmer was playing, and maybe it's an argument for maybe why they don't need him, but that's just it. He would be a massive asset and a match winner in that competition. So for them, yeah, like they're taking a gamble because even if you want to make the argument of, oh, we don't care about that competition, if they finish second in the group and they end up having to play an extra game that they don't want to play, then they've got more football to worry about, more traveling. But on the other hand as well, like you're in that competition, I think if they don't win it, honestly, it's gonna look bad on them. Like I said before, everyone said to us how anyone could win that. Sheffield United could win that. Huddersfield could win that competition. Every other Premier League team that stepped in it hasn't won it, and people go, "Oh, it's because they didn't take it seriously." Well, I saw Aston Villa against Olympiacos play their full strength first team. You go and look at that lineup Villa play and tell me they didn't take it seriously. Leicester played their full strength team. Spurs, they started rotating early on, and then they had to play their full strength team, and they was third, and then they got booted. So you give them that. And then Chelsea, look how strong that team is. This £1 billion team with this massive squad. Played that against Servette. They scraped through, but they still lost. So it's not as easy as we made it look. We only drew one game. The rest were winners. You know what I mean? In the Invincibles of the Conference League. So yeah, man, like I think they're underestimating it, and it's on their head. Be it if they don't want to be in the competition, then just play your kids then, and then let yourself be exited. But I don't think that's what we see here. I think they can win it without these players, and I understand with a lot of football coming up, you got to worry about that. But for us, our thing was just win the group and then rotate and rest. Win the group early. That's what they should have been trying.
Yeah, it's obviously a different kind of format in Europe now. I understand what they're doing. It's not illogical. I just think it's a little risky because in those first two games, they kind of relied on bringing Palmer on as an example to get themselves through. And the worst thing, I mean, not the worst thing for Chelsea, that would be an exaggeration. A bad thing for Chelsea in this development would be to not get through this stage, would be to fall out at the kind of league stroke group stage in the same way Tottenham did. I think this is a competition they should take seriously. You could argue it's easier to win than the FA Cup or League Cup because you don't have a team as good as Liverpool, as good as Arsenal, as good as Manchester City in it. And it's an opportunity for more European glory, another major European trophy. And I think there's a set to be won. And it's one of those things where maybe Chelsea fans will take it more seriously if they are in the knockout stages. That often happens but it's like with the Europa League. I'm sick and tired of fans. It doesn't really matter. It isn't the European trophy. I was looking at Man United's European record. We've got a good one. We won Europa League. We've won 3 Champions Leagues. We've won a cup. We won a Cup Winners' Cup. It's good. But I looked at recent years where we sort of lost in the final against Villarreal, went out in semi-finals, and I was sort of looking at it and thinking, we really should have done better because I know we're not where we want to be right now as a club, but that Europa League there, that Cup Winners' Cup there, that Conference League there, in 15, 20 years' time, which is what it's all about, by the way, picking up trophies in the long run, when you suddenly look back and you're comparing yourself to your rivals, it's another European trophy. It's another notch on the bedpost, as it were. And I just think they're taking a little bit of a risk. However, I do understand that they may end up having a 70-odd game season, which is, mean, I don't even understand how they're going to fit pre-season in next year with this end of season tournament. It's crazy. But
this is where that big squad is going to be tested. This is where we're going to see how much having all of these players is really worth it. You know what I mean, for them. And if we're sitting here, and this is why I don't get with Don coming on and saying, oh, well, I can't put my chest. If we get injuries, like we have to stay injury free for this to happen, for that to happen. When you've got better squad depth on paper, as he says, than nearly anyone in the league. So now we're going to find out how good that squad depth is. That's what.
No, we certainly are going to find out how good that team is. As well. If Chelsea wins the Conference League, Chelsea overtake United in European trophies. Yes, you do. Obviously, in totality, the weight of the 3 Champions Leagues is still massive. But this is exactly it, and this is. I don't want that. You know, for me, if I was to, if anyone asked me what my overall ambition for Man United would be, it's what I want to have is in England. I want to have the most leagues, the most FA Cups, the most League Cups, and the most European trophies. I don't just want to have the most trophies. I want to have the most of all those categories. Because then you become undeniable. The thing is, winning the Conference League won't put them above Man United in terms of European pedigree because of 3 Champions Leagues. However, if they then get to 3 Champions Leagues, then it's like, well, the 3 Champions League plus the other European success, they're better in that area. So that's why I want Man United this year to do whatever we can to win that Europa League, because it's another European trophy. So hopefully we keep getting better and better, and in 3 or 4 years' time win a Champions League. I can hope. And that is what it is, hope. But then it's not just the Champions League. We've added, you got 4 Champions Leagues. You've got 2 or 3 UEFA Cup you build a really big pedigree. And I think that for me is why you've got to always take it seriously. And I think
people I was going to say, people talk down the conference, but how cool is it to say that you've won every trophy that you could possibly win in football, like as a club? Like you've won it all, and you could obviously, you're the only other team I think in the Prem that is able to do that, right? I think Man City, Man City and Chelsea could do it if you was in the conference. Then you're the only ones that complete the set, right? Because I don't think in terms of winning everything,
Liverpool as well could.
Yeah. Liverpool, Liverpool's the other one. Yeah.
I mean, for us, it would even be interesting because we've also got the Cup Winners' Cup, which doesn't exist anymore, but we'd still have it. It would be there. Yeah. So, I don't want to be in the thing is, I understand the concept. You don't want to be in the Conference League, but when you're in it, Go get it won, because over the course of time, it's why when people laugh at League Cups and stuff, it's always funny because when we actually sit there and the same people go, I don't want a Karabuki Cup. I don't want a little FA Cup. I want something bigger. When you sit there and debate who the biggest and most successful clubs are, you pull those trophies out. So every year I want them. Do you know what I'm saying? And they're really, really important.